Hi, and welcome back to the Town Bag Sew Along. Today is day 5, and in this lesson, we will be assembling and attaching the pockets of our bag. So if you need to do anything with your straps or the body of your bag, you can see our previous lesson for that. Today we're going to need our 2 pocket pieces and the bag body. We do not need the cord quite yet, so you can still have that set aside. Grab your 2 pocket pieces and we're going to set one aside. I'm going to start with the inner pocket. So what we're going to do is we're going to first press the long edges of the pocket under 1/2 inch. So you can head over to your iron and do that now. So I take my seam gauge and I'm just measuring 1/2 inch. And you're just pressing along the length of the edge. Flip it around and we're going to do the same thing to the other side. Now we need to press the short side. So we're going to start by pressing the top edge to the wrong side 1/4 inch. So you can measure that. There's also a notch right here. We're going to just fold it down again. And you can use your seam gauge for any of these. And just press across. So you can see my fold kind of wants to pop back up. What you can do give it a nice press and then use a clapper to hold the steam in while it cools. And you can see it wants to lay a lot flatter. Now again, the other edge, 1/4 inch. And then another 1/2 inch. Now we're going to head over to our sewing machines and we are going to sew this free folded edge down. So we're going to start, just pop your pocket underneath there and I'm going to back tack a tiny bit right here and then just sew across. Pin got in the way. And then here at this end, it's folded really neatly, but if any part of this is sticking out, you can just kind of shove it back inside. So you're going to take your large outer pocket and you're going to lay it over top of your bag with the right side of the bag facing out. Now I have my handles weighted down because this is a lighter weight fabric than the kit, because I wanted to make sure I had the right and wrong side for the video. But if you have the fabric from the kit, you won't need to weight it. It'll be just fine. Now I'm just going to line the corners of the pocket with the match point for the outer pocket. And I'm going to pin this side of it in place. And this is the side that has the stitching line for the pocket divider. I'm just pinning to this match point here. And we're leaving the other side of the bag free for now, or the other side of the pocket. So what we're going to do is we're going to sew from this match point down to this match point. So you can draw this in if you want with chalk. I'm going to do that now. So I'm going to draw that in with my chalk. Remove that. And I'm going to remove that one as well. And then just double check that you don't have it. This is going to be my stop point. So we're going to sew right along here to keep this in place. I am going to pin through here just because of the lighter weight fabric. If you have the kit or fabric similar to what's in the kit, you don't need to do this. So we're going to head over to the machine and just sew right along that line. Okay, so line up your needle with the line you just marked in. And I did back tack there because I do use this outer pocket, so I want to make sure that's stable. You could pull the threads to the wrong side and tie them, but I just feel like this is a little more secure. Just removing my pins before I sew over them because I am not a supporter of sewing over pins. Right down to the end point. Another little back tack and snip your threads. Okay, so I am now just going to remove these pins and we'll repin those later. You're going to flip your bag so that the wrong side is facing up. Now take your smaller pocket and we're going to align that here. So you can see we have the three dividing lines. And we're going to put that on this side, which is opposite the line we just sewed. So you're going to align those with your placement points. And now we're just going to pin this in place through only the inner pocket and the body. You can see I'm not pinning through the outer pocket. And I'm doing that on both sides of the bag. It's a little easier to pin from the other direction, so pardon me here. Nope, I caught the pocket there. Okay, so you can see not pinned to the outer pocket. So now what we're going to do is we're going to edge stitch along these two long edges of the pocket. And we're going to do one side at a time because we need to move this pocket out of the way. So we'll head over to the machine and I'll demo that. Okay, now again, I have moved the outer pocket out of the way. Going to back tack. Just reposition that outer pocket. I am caught on my strap. And there we go. Now the next thing we're going to do is stitch in these little pocket dividing lines. So as I did before, I'm just going to draw those in. 1, 2, 3, and I'm just going to mark again the bottom edge of each one. Now that those are drawn in, you can see again we have the outer pocket in the way. So we're just going to flip that out of the way. So here you can see it's just the 2 pockets. And if you want to pin this, you can. I'm just going to stick a pin right each sort of in the middle and then one down below. That way it doesn't shift around while I'm stitching these in. So head over to your machine and we're going to sew those in. Now once again, lower pocket is folded out of the way. It's all the way on the other side of the bag actually right now. And I am back tacking because I do actually use these pockets. One. Two. And our final stitching line. All right, our inner pocket is now fully attached and we have sewn the channels for these smaller pockets. You don't sew anything across the bottom right now. We will finish those up when we sew the front of the bag on, or the front pocket. So now flip your bag over so the right side is facing up. You can see here that the edge of the pocket does fall just beyond the webbing, so we can easily stitch it on without catching the webbing. Now I'm not sewing across the top. I am just pinning it because again, this is a really lightweight fabric. And I want to make sure that everything is square and stays in place. Remove those guys. And then again. There we go. That's better. And then I'm just going to pin right below. I'm going to pop a pin in here, halfway between the top and our pivot point. And I am going to just pin through here a bit. It helps me remember that I need to turn in addition to keeping everything in place. And then the other side as well. One in between. And then across the bottom. And we will be sewing this through both layers, and that's what will create the pockets on the inside, or the bottom edge of the pockets on the inside. All right. And here's my mark for the lower edge. So I'm going to pivot when I get to this point here. And just sew across. Now that we are at the other edge, we're going to pivot again and sew back up. And you're going to repeat that for the other side of the pocket. Okay, our pockets are now attached. Make sure that's tucked inside. And you'll notice we have not sewn this center part down. This will become part of the gusset, and we will be sewing that in a future step. But again, on the inside, we have our pockets right across. Now there's only one thing left to do, and that is to put a bar tack in across the pocket and the handle. That will anchor the two together and just make sure your handle doesn't flip out like I just had it. You want to make sure that's stuck inside there. If you don't want to do a bar tack, I would at least recommend just sewing across here with a straight stitch. But the bar tack does really look nice. And if you have any straggly strings like that, you just chop it off. So let's go do our bar tacks. Now I have my machine set up to bar tack already. So I'm using a stitch width of 3 and a stitch length of 0.6. You can practice and see what you like on your bag with your machine. I use a little bit longer stitch length at 0.6 and then I go over it twice. I just find that it gets less bulky and bogged down but still looks really nice. So start at one side. So you're just going to repeat that for each handle. So here you can see the finished bar tack. It is nice and solid. I just went over it twice. And again, I think this looks really nice and even. There's no point where the machine was getting jumbled up because the stitch length was so short. So that is how I prefer to do mine, but you should do whatever works for you. Okay, so that is it for today's lesson. Our pockets are attached. We have put in beautiful little bar tacks, and we are ready for our next lesson, which will be sewing up the sides and gussets, basically turning this flat piece of fabric into a bag. So tune in next time. Our bags will finally be bag shaped. And if you have any questions on today's video, let me know in the comments below and I'll get back to you. Make sure you're subscribed to our channel so you don't miss any of our video updates, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.